Clark and Perry.
In the place.
Clark and Perry. Do what it takes. Clark and Perry invite you to stay.
And explore the artistry in everything, live, on location alongside the Windy City's finest. Produced with the support of TELUS Story Hive. Available on YouTube and TELUS Optic TV on demand. For a limited time only. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome to the Windy City's finest. I'm Perry, he's Clark, and you are?
Jess.
Awesome. And yes, we're going to continue on the theme of acting with this scene. It is Act 1, Scene 7 of Macbeth by William Shakespeare. Maybe you've heard of it. Maybe. Very famous play. And very famous characters, Lady Macbeth and Macbeth. And again, just briefly context-wise, they are basically plotting, I think, is the general gist of it. Plotting to kill the king, Duncan, so that Macbeth can take the crown. Because of some witches and a whole bunch of stuff and prophecies and Awesome. Okay, and so we've already gone through and kind of broken down the script, done some script work, tried some blocking, tried some intentions with the lines. Something we get to do in acting and theater is play games in order to bring out different options and ideas of things that we can do. And so I think our little premise here is that we have a lovely 6-sided dice. It would be cool if we were doing like a D&D dice. And
that
it was
would be
like,
funny. It's like 1 to 20.
1 to 20. But the idea is that we are each going to roll. And so it goes from 1 to 6, and that will be our intensity for the scene. So a 6 being like, we're just going to bring a really intense energy to the scene. And that's our challenge, you know, that's the play. And then if it's a 1, then we're going to be like really chill. And really relaxed about it. It's like, yeah, we're going to kill the king. Like, it is what it is.
Whatever.
You know? And just to see how that plays. And maybe we'll do it once or twice. And then, see if there are any other games that come to mind. Okay, do you want to do the honors and go first? And maybe let's roll it this way against the wall.
Oh, I thought that was going to hit the wall.
Awesome.
Oh,
a 3. Right in the middle.
Okay.
Okay. I will go next, and we'll see how I shall play the scene.
Middle's probably harder.
Yeah. A 4 right in the middle again. Okay. So I'm going to be a bit more intense than you. So it's like an exercise in reading each other and connection, I think. So let's give it a go.
Alrighty.
And then maybe we can try. Oh, there we go. Clark is catching it. Great. I'm going to start in my little seat here. And how far should we go? Should we do the whole thing or not?
We could stop at if we should fail.
Okay.
Being the last line.
How about let's go just to the end of your little line and will not fail.
Okay, perfect.
Just give it a little extra
right, I guess
closure to that.
On a question. Okay.
So we're going to go right to here and will not fail. And I got a 4, and Jess, you got a 3.
All right.
Awesome.
Not bored, but not excited.
Yeah. Okay. How now? What news?
He is almost supped. Why have you left the chamber?
Hath he asked for me?
Know you not he has?
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me of late, and I have bought golden opinions from all sorts of people, which would be worn now in their newest gloss, not cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk, wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it slept since, and wakes it now, to look so green and pale in what it did so freely? From this time such I count thy love. Art thou afeard to be the same in thine own act and valor as thou art in desire? Wouldst thou have that which thou esteem'st the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem, letting I dare not wait upon I would, like the poor cat in the adage?
Prithee, peace. I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares do more is none.
What beast was it then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. And to be more than what you were, you would be so much more the man. Nor time nor place did then adhere, and yet you would make both. they have made themselves, and that their fitness now does unmake you. I have given suck, and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while he was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from his boneless gums and dashed the brains out, had I so sworn as you have done to this.
If we should fail.
We fail. But screw your courage to the sticking place, and we'll not fail.
All right, a 4 and a 3.
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. Another thing we could do, let's try rolling it, and we'll do it again. But I think just to see what we get. But we could just do a 6 and a 1.
I
Just
really want to do a 6 and a 1.
Should we roll and see if we get it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's try this out. Okay. Blow for good luck. Awesome. Okay, I'll roll first. No, a 2 is close enough. Yeah.
That's totally a 1.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Hopefully you get a 6.
This like blends into the wall.
I know.
Oh, I got the 1.
Here, let's just do a 1 and a 6.
Okay.
I'm sorry if people feel gypped, but oh,
Okay.
Brent Clark is gonna try a 5. That's the
5.
highest so far.
There we go.
Awesome. Here you go.
See, high and low roll, it's fine.
Yeah. Who should be the 1? Who should be the 6?
I think I should be the 6.
Okay, you'll be the 6. You'll bring the energy.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'll try and just basically undermine that energy, I think. Okay.
You're basically just sleeping.
Yeah, basically asleep. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Till the same spot?
Yeah, let's do it till the same spot.
Perfect.
And this is so exciting because for me, like, this is where ideas come up. So like for me, I would literally, I'll be asleep, and this is where I would offer, like, if you come in and you just like tap my knee, and then like I'd be like, how now? What news? Can we try that to start?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. No big news, no big deal. Just, you know. Okay, whenever you're ready. And this is where the beauty comes out in rehearsals, right? Where you have fun. Okay.
Oh no.
That was Clarky's fault. Okay. Let's try this again. Okay. How now? What news?
He's almost supped. Why have you left the chamber?
Hath he asked for me?
No, you not he has.
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me of late, and I have bought golden opinions from all sorts of people, which would be worn now in their newest gloss, not cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk, wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it slept since, and wakes it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? From this time, such I count thy love. Art thou feared to be the same in thine own act and valor as thou art in desire? Wouldst thou have that which thou esteem'st the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem? Letting I dare not wait upon I would, like the poor cat in the adage.
Prithee, peace. I dare do all that may become a man, and who dares do more is none.
What beast was it then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. To be more than what you were, you would be so much more the man. Nor time nor place did then adhere, and yet you would make both. They have made themselves, and that their fitness now does unmake you. I have given suck, and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from his boneless gums and dashed the brains out, had I so sworn as you have done to this.
If we should fail.
We fail. But screw your courage to the sticking place, and we'll not fail.
It's like, let's go one step further. Maybe he goes to bed. I don't know.
Over here, I'm like, I noticed you're going. I'm like, no.
You're having like one of the most serious moments for Lady Macbeth, and he's just out here going to sleep. Oh my gosh, awesome.
That was so much fun.
Yeah, and like one thing that I noticed, right, is like blocking wise, what that did for me, I pretty much stayed seated the whole time. Whereas before, I was getting up and I was moving, and it's that tormented thing. But when you just stick it in one direction, and you know, it's a one, and he's just not bothered, like it changes things, right? And I think like another interesting thing is that's basically what you would do, or what I would do, but you then switch it from a 1 at the start of the scene to a 6 halfway through the scene to a 4. And you would switch it kind of during the scene. Like that's kind of what I noticed. Like, do you want to build on any of that, or is there anything you noticed while we did that? Or?
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of helpful. I'm just going to go back to Lady Macbeth's character since that's who I'm reading.
Yeah.
But with her, like obviously she's not at a 6 at the very beginning. It's like, what news? It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy where it's like, okay, maybe that is like a 3.
Yeah.
And then you go to like, he's literally like, no, we're not doing it. Then she's up there.
Totally. Yeah.
And then he still gives her like, huh, yeah, right. And then she's up there, but then there's still some layers on it because she's very, like, people aren't just one note.
Totally. Yeah.
So then if we were to continue this exercise per se, it's like, okay, then we'd probably switch. So then you'd find like where Macbeth goes up there, and then we could find where Lady Macbeth goes down.
Absolutely.
Yeah, to continue like working the scene.
Yeah. And it's all like and like that information I think is in the lines, but it's just a way of like making it actionable and like finding a tool to like unlock that almost is how I think of it. Yeah, that's really interesting. Cool. I think we have another exercise that we could maybe try. And so Clark is going to go grab it, and we're just going to use one. So sorry, Clark. And so let's do red. Awesome, because it's Macbeth and it's blood-stained ball. Awesome. And so what we would do with this, in my mind at least, like one option is it's kind of a connection game. And so basically we'll kind of read through it. But when we feel like the line is trying to get the person's attention or it's trying to do something, you basically pass it to the I'll do underhand.
There we go.
You pass it to the partner to kind of, it's just a way of physicalizing as opposed to just doing it through.
When you want them to do something, it's like here.
Yeah, so like for example, I would be like, right off the bat, I would be like, how now? What news? Right? And it's like, oh, I'm trying to connect with you. Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha.
And it can be anywhere. You can throw it anywhere. And just to see kind of what that does. And
Cool.
should we go through the same dialogue, or should we do like the last half?
We could do the last.
Yeah. And it doesn't just have to be when you're speaking, I think. Like, it could be like, you're speaking, you throw it to me, I throw it right back to you because I don't want to hear what you're saying. You know what I mean? And so it's like, no, I don't want to hold this, and you throw it back to me, and I throw, you know, and I don't know. Like, yeah, should we try it?
Sure.
Okay. And what did you say about where we should start? Are we going to do the same?
The last half, I'd say.
Shall we go from if we should fail?
Sure.
All right. You're going to memorize this by the time we're done, I'm assuming. Awesome. Okay. Great. Ready?
See how our ball catching skills are?
While we're reading.
We only have one hand, too.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Okay. If we should fail.
We fail. But screw your courage to the sticking place, and we'll not fail. When Duncan is asleep, where to the rather shall his day's hard journey soundly invite him, as to chamberlains will I, with wine and withal, so convince that memory, the warder of the brain, shall be a fume, and the receipt of reason a limebeck only. When in swinish sleep their drenched natures lie as in a death, what cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? What not put upon his spongy officers, who shall bear the guilt of our great quell?
Bring forth men children only, for thy undaunted metal should compose nothing but males. Will it not be received when we have marked with blood those sleepy two of his own chamber, and used their very daggers, that they have done it?
Who dares receive it, other as we shall make our griefs and clamor roar upon his death?
I am settled, and bend up each corporal agent to this terrible feat. Away, and mock the time with the fairest show. False face must hide what the false heart doth know. Awesome. Yeah, like there were some moments in there. Yeah. How do you feel about that?
I think it really, it just clarifies the, what's the word? Who has the very, like the focus in the scene. It's very much like, okay, it's almost like a who's winning and losing in the situation.
Okay, yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
It's weird because you'd think that the person with the ball would be winning, but it feels like you're kind of like, oh, now I'm stuck with it.
Right, yeah. Yeah, and it's kind of like you gotta, yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to think if there was like a specific moment for me. And maybe it would probably maybe be easier if you're like watching as we're doing it, because we're like focused on doing it as opposed to like remembering it. But I think, I can't remember where. Anyway, I get what you're saying, where it's like who's winning, who's losing, who has focus or like control in this scenario. Yeah.
Because like for me, your final speech right here is very much like, I'm definitely not throwing the ball back to you.
Right.
Because he's taken over kind of much. He like pretty much he has his resolve.
Yeah. Absolutely. Awesome. Cool. Great. I think that was kind of our exercises. Has this inspired any other exercises for you that we could run through this script with? And it's okay if not. But I know some things just kind of come to you in the moment, and then you just gotta try them in the moment. But
don't know. I'd say this is kind of about it for this one for now.
For
there is like a lot of different fun exercises that I've encountered over the shows, but I'd say, I don't know, I really think that if we were actually working on this show, the dice one would be so
dice
helpful.
would be cool, eh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you think there would be value in the 20-sided die?
I don't know. I think.
Or would that be too like? It'd be too many different.
Yeah,
ones.
I think a 10.
A 10-sided dice. Okay, yeah.
Because I think as actors, I don't know about you, but I'm used to like going like, okay, 1 to 10.
1 to 10, absolutely.
Versus rather 1 to 6.
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting. Cool. Awesome. I think that's all the time we have. Like you said, there's tons of other activities, but for folks, like that's some context as to like just some of the ways that people might play in rehearsals. And we did skip over a lot of like technical work of like, okay, what words don't we understand? And like all of this technical stuff. But as far as getting up on our feet and just trying to bring the thing to life, I think, those are some exercises that I think people would do. And maybe we'll use in our next shows. Like, who knows? Awesome. Great. I think that is all the time we have for this segment. But we will be diving into some acrylic painting. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you are watching the live stream, stay tuned and we will be right back. Otherwise, thank you again for tuning in. I'm Perry, he's Clark, and you are?
Jess.
And this is the Windy City's finest.
Clark and Perry
in the place.
Clark and Perry do what it takes. Clark and Perry invite you to stay.
And explore the artistry in everything, live, on location alongside the Windy City's finest. Produced with the support of TELUS Story Hive, available on YouTube and TELUS Optic TV on demand for a limited time only. Terms and conditions apply.